And here we go. The case is already simmering before we even hit the 1-minute mark. Officers following for miles. Defendants annoyed. And oh, plot twist. There's a weapons warrant she didn't even know about. In legal terms, that's what we call an awkward start.
Well, you started out right off the bat with the attitude. Like, why are you following me? You've been following me for two and a half miles. Well, he was following you because and you didn't know this. There's an issue of what he knew and what you knew. He knew there was an open warrant for your arrest for a weapons charge. You didn't even know that warrant even existed. People versus Danielle Marie McNeese, 10:30 sentencing this morning. Ms. McNeese is a resident of Kalamazoo. She was charged with possession of methamphetamine, pled to a use charge. She was positive for methamphetamine that day, and I indicated I'll probably test her again today. For sentencing at 10:30 this morning. She did not appear. Mr. Nossinger is here, and Angelique Canfield from the prosecutor's office. No defendant. We did check the hall. Mr. Nossinger advised he sent the number to her Edward Street address and a notice to her Edward Street address, and it came back. But I gave her the notice of the date right here in the courtroom. Have you had any contact with that client since that date?
No, Judge.
Your people would respectfully request a bench warrant and bond revocation.
Bench war in time. For anyone wondering, that's basically the court's way of saying, you didn't show. We'll make sure you do next time in handcuffs. No bond. Means you sit until the judge says otherwise.
Order a bench warrant. No bond. See judge. When you're convicted by a plea, you're no longer presumed to be innocent. You're no longer entitled to a bond. So I'm going to revoke the bond down to a 48-hour hold, which is required by statute these days for these types of cases. Boy. So if anyone knows Danielle McNeese, tell her she needs to contact her attorney, Luke Knopfinger. Present herself here at the court. The next defendant is here, has been here for a while. She's here in a timely manner. It's Brianne Lynn McRoberts. File number 533FY alleges no insurance and possession of a metallic knuckles. Defendant pled to no insurance, forfeited the brass knuckles. The matter was set for sentencing. That allegedly occurred on February 5th, 2023. I don't know. The warrant had been out for a while, I guess. In file number 51158, for this year, June of 2025, while they were serving that earlier warrant, the defendant was charged with resisting obstructing a police officer, pled to attempting to resist obstruct a police officer, and no valid operator's license. So the defendant is scheduled for sentencing for 2 traffic violations and the felony attempted resisting obstructing a police officer, reduced to a misdemeanor. Miss McNeese, I told you that I would get the police report, Ms. McRoberts, and watch the video with the assistance of the prosecutor's staff. They're always very helpful. I got the video.
12 seconds. That's all it took from pullover to ground. That's shorter than your Average TikTok, folks, and way less fun. This is why body cam footage can make or break a resisting case.
Frankly, I don't know what to make of it. This whole thing went down in 12 seconds. You got pulled over. The officer got out of the car, and 12 seconds later, you were on the ground. From the body cam video, I get another perspective of it. You weren't the most responsible. You started out with MF, and once that happened, you were on the ground. But whatever you did was within seconds. Resisting, obstructing, or assaulting includes all of those things. There's no evidence that you assaulted the police officer. I guess resisting, obstructing is not complying with your lawful commands, but I've certainly seen a lot worse than this. It was helpful to see the video. Anyway, having said all that, Mr. Knopfinger, what would you like me to know?
Yeah, I would have to. The report is aware that she was tased.
Yeah, I couldn't tell who tased her. All of a sudden, I didn't know if Officer Marsh, who was also there, did the tasing. It all happened.
Well, I'm gonna call the last one. It was hot.
Hogarth.
Yeah.
It all happened so fast. It was, and I watched it several times, and I couldn't tell. At any rate, that didn't sound like any fun. Then you were on
Honeit mode. Activated threats of lawsuits. F-bombs flying. But here's the legal kicker. Resisting doesn't have to mean throwing punches. Just not following a lawful order is enough to land the charge.
Hornet. You were threatening to sue everybody and dropping the F-bombs, and but up to that point, you said you're not even going to ask my name or anything, and then wham bam, you're on the ground. So, Mr. Officer, what would you like me to know?
Well, it's important. It happened very, very quickly. I know for some people too. I run into this sometimes too. Don't know what they can do, and with the lawful order, and the resisting obstructing statute is one of the most expansive criminal statutes. It includes a wide range of conduct, coordinated assaulting, physically pushing or injuring an officer, all the way to disobeying a lawful command, which can include getting out of a motor vehicle. And I've encountered this recently. People don't think they have to get out of the vehicle. It is about a traffic stop. That is the case. I can understand. I reviewed the body cam initially got the case, and yeah, there was a lot of anger. Yeah, very quickly. She was tased. She went to jail. I would ask the court to consider that. She has made some changes, Judge. I haven't spoken to her. I think she was conduct now understands the importance. And also, in the police report, I don't know if she knew sort of what was going on before all of this went down.
Well, there was something that preceded it.
Now, this is important. This stop wasn't random. Officers had just gotten a report of an assault and linked her to it. Add a weapons warrant to the mix. And from their perspective, patience isn't on the menu.
There was some sort of an assault in progress. Dogwood in her late, and someone alleged that was the assaulter and had just left the area. So that's why they were pulling over in the first place.
Yeah, I think they had a sort of law enforcement sort of urgency.
Well, and she had an open warrant for carrying concealed weapon. So, but the weapon was a dumb pair of brass knuckles. You couldn't tell that from lien dispatch. She just had a CCW, meaning we think it's done.
Right.
So she's a suspect and assault if she has an open warrant for a weapon charge. And the officer was having that in the background at the time.
Yeah, I can understand that maybe there was not so much patience for a job judge. So she's moved into a new apartment. Ready to get ready. So I get the sense from her that she's gonna have again, judge.
Yeah.
So I would have for to consider all those passions.
Hi, I just realized I don't have a driving record in the Brianne McRoberts case. One of the charges is no operator's license. So could you get me one? All right, thank you. All right, bye. So the charge way back when was no insurance, the 2023 case, and possession of metallic knuckles. That was during Mr. Marvin's administration, and rather than do an arrest or issue a citation, the officers would submit a warrant request and they would get a warrant. So you got stopped on February 5th, 2023 for having no insurance. And they said you were in possession of a pair of brass knuckles. That's a felony. It's punishable by up to 5 years in prison. So they sent it to the prosecutor and they issued a warrant in April of 2023. My guess is you didn't even know there was an open warrant for your arrest. From April of 23, did you continue to live on Riverside Drive?
No, I was at the homeless shelter when that incident happened with brass knuckles.
All right. So anyway, there's a warrant out from 2023 that you don't even know about. Somebody calls about this disturbance out near Clear Lake, and they realize there's an existing warrant for your arrest. So they dismiss the brass knuckles and you pled to not having insurance. That one carries a minimum fine of $200 up to $500 per cause. So we'll address that one in a minute. In the other case, the one that's more of a concern, that's from June. The most concerning charge is the attempted resistance obstruction. Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Angela Camfield is here on behalf of the prosecutor's office. Camfield, what would you like to know?
Your Honor, I've had an opportunity to review the defendant's criminal history, which doesn't appear to have anything else significant. Up until these particular instances, I will note that the report indicates that the officer, in addition to being aware of an open felony weapons offense warrant, did also indicate that there was a passenger in the vehicle and there were furtive movements being made before the vehicle came to a stop. Now, in the training,
The prosecutors laying it out: furtive movements, hidden hands, unknown passenger. If you've ever wondered how a split-second taser decision happens, this is the playbook. Officer Sight. In court.
experience of an officer on the scene, that could indicate a number of things. On the top of their minds is usually there's drugs and or weapons being hidden while the stop is being made. So if she's refusing to get out of the vehicle, as she later did, and then starting to put her hand behind her back, as the report indicates, where he is unable to see it, that is what, according to his police report, to the taser being deployed. He has somebody with an open weapons warrant with her hands, but he can't see them, at least one of them, and another person in the vehicle. He doesn't know what they may have hid prior to the stop. So I think that in that circumstance, being tasered is certainly not anything anyone would want to occur, but that was perhaps the least progressive form of controlling the situation for the safety of everybody involved in this particular instance. I think that that needs to be taken into consideration with respect to sentence. When somebody is being given a lawful command, a lot of these situations can be avoided if you just comply with the lawful command and not argue about whether you should or should not do it, or whether they can or cannot have you step out of the vehicle. If there's a concern about that, bring it up with their superior later, but maintain your safety and the safety of the situation by complying with the officer on the scene. That did not occur here. Now the question is, do we need a probation period in order to make sure that this doesn't occur again and to rehabilitate and deter others from this type of behavior? I'll leave that to the discretion of the court. It seems that a short period would be appropriate in the circumstances. And I will say, particularly given the fact she just left the scene of a disturbance where there was no life assault as well.
Yeah, and I can't really do anything with that. There were no charges. It's all unconfirmed.
I will note that part of the plea agreement in getting this reduced to a misdemeanor was forfeiture of the brass knuckles.
Yes. All right. How'd you get here?
Dad.
All right. Your driving record isn't bad. Your driver's license is just expired. So you need to do what you need to do to get your license back. It doesn't appear to be that you're prohibited. You didn't have a license either on that day or now. Where's your dad? He didn't want to come in and watch any of this? All right, what would you like to tell me?
I didn't know I was doing anything wrong. He came up to the car, reached his hands out of the car to get out. He didn't know what was going on. He followed me for a minute before he pulled me over. And when I got there, there was more officers and I knew what was going on.
Well, there's Kleenexes right there.
I didn't have a licensed driver with me.
Well, you started out right off the bat with the attitude. Like, why are you following me? You've been following me for two and a half miles. Well, he was following you because and you didn't know this. There's an issue of what he knew and what you knew. He knew there was an open warrant for your arrest for a weapons charge. You didn't even know that warrant even existed. 2, he was reported your vehicle was involved in some sort of an assault and disturbance a couple miles away, which he knew and you didn't know. So you got 2 people that are not on the same communication level. You did have an attitude, but it all happened so fast. You started with the MF, and that was when it was wham bam. So I've certainly seen a lot worse.
The judge is about to talk money. And yes, fines in multiple cases add up fast. Legal drama isn't just about verdicts. It's also about your wallet.
The problems are going to be how much this is going to cost, because there are several things involved here. In the no valid operator license, which is 251159 ST, I'm going to order a $75 fine and make all this part of a payment. And the no insurance, 25513FY, or excuse me, 23. That's the old brass knuckles case. They didn't charge you with not having a license, which you didn't. They just charged you with no insurance. I'll order 1 day jail credit, 1 day. And this one, I'm gonna order 1 day jail credit, 1 day. This carries a $200 minimum fine. $75 crime victims' rights fee, $50 minimum. That's $325 for the payment plan. So that's $400 just on the 2 misdemeanors. That was very good quality video. I could also make it full screen. There were several different cameras. There was the car camera, which had a timer on it. There was a body camera, and then there were some other officers. Are you employed right now?
No,
When did you last work?
5 months ago.
Where was that?
The Indian Camp of Nazarene in Bigfoot.
One of my sons went to that camp with another kid. He didn't like it so much. A long time ago. Have you been looking for a job?
No, I'm a stay-at-home mom. My boyfriend works.
You go be a bunch of money.
I can get it to you.
Okay. I'm not going to order any additional jail. And I'm not going to order any probation. That's my discretion, and she's right. You didn't do anything other than have a bad attitude.
Oh, brass knuckles. Illegal in many states. And in Michigan, they can be a 5-year felony. Even if you call them just a dumb accessory, the law doesn't care about your fashion statement.
Brass knuckles was under the category of DUMB. You didn't need any brass knuckles. You didn't know that was a 5-year felony to possess them. That was the felony charge, which resulted in this. Don't know what the dispute was. Somebody called the cops. This was a real nice car. Whose car was this?
My dad's. He gave it to me. Oh no.
It was a Challenger?
No, it was a 2014 Mustang.
Oh yeah, Mustang. It's in good shape. Anyway, so what happened to that?
My dad tried to get it out, and they said.
Oh yeah, you told me
it.
it got impounded and never was redeemed. Is that right?
Yeah, because I guess I left the scene of a crime, so they told me to give it back.
Regarding this? Something else.
I've been trying to get a hold of somebody to get it out of impound, and nobody will call me back. All I know is there's a hold on it. My dad told me today that they sold it. It's going to public auction or something.
I don't know. There's no reason for a police. Well, then fine. 0. $125. This was right $2. Minimum fee $100. Which was $275. The payment plan. 1 day jail credit, 1 day. Let me see if I have any bonds. Just give me PR bonds. I don't have any money in any of these files. So if we add everything up, 25 and 275 is $500 plus $75. Total is $575. How much can we pay each month?
Probably 100.
Did you watch the video? No, you wouldn't like it much. You were expressing concerns about your kids and your child when you're in the back seat of the car. How many kids do you have?
1.
I'm not worrying with this jail fine, but you got set up $100 a month payment plan. The court officer take you out to the court office, set up a payment plan. Pay this off. That'll take about 6 months to pay it all off. And
Best line of the day, even when the police officer is wrong. He's right. Translation: In the heat of the moment, you comply first, you fight it legally later.
I guess my only advice would be what Judge McManus tells people. Even when the police officer's wrong, he's right, and the best answer to the police officer is yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, and do what they ask. All right, you're good to go.